My dear reader, the series of letters that are here within contained were never intended for public consumption. They are private letters, written most commonly in the heat of passion, and concerning secrets, confessions, thoughts, and feelings that the letter writer would more happily have died than ever willingly have exposed to the punishing gaze of society. However, now that all of the people involved in this series of events are either dead, in prison, or hopelessly insane, with the exception of me, of course, I feel no compunction in gathering these letters together, arranging them in their proper sequence, and presenting them to you, my discerning readership. The events that are chronicled here began in the year of our Lord 1748. It has taken me years to gather these letters through blackmail, bribery, theft, and sometimes downright barbarism, from the hands into which they had fallen. I have changed no name. I have blunted no edges. I only ask that as you read the lives of these poor souls laid bare, you do so and measure them against the most honest yardstick of all, the darkest secrets that you yourself withhold. My dear reader, as I sit here in my study composing the foreword to this volume, I imagine you, some 276 years in the future perhaps, reading this book, sitting in your study, in your cozy armchair, your feet on your ottoman being toasted by a cheerful fire in the hearth, the warm brown leather of the volume soft in your eager hands. Your imagination runs away with you. Your anticipation becomes fevered, so much so that even without opening the book, you can imagine what the people who are in these pages look like. And dear reader, so excited are you, and so in tune with the human heart that shall be unfolded before you, that you probably could guess which of these people standing in the front row of your imagination is the first one who wrote a letter in this anthology. You probably, on the count of 3, would shout out your guess, describing them by what they're wearing. 1, 2, 3!
Turquoise.
Big pseudonym.
If you guess turquoise, well, no. You are right. And I suppose, dear reader, you could also guess which one of these remaining people received this letter. And you might call out what they're wearing on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3!
White dress! White dress! Red hair!
If you said red hair, you are correct. Of course, I don't know because you're 276 years in the future, but I only imagine you are the type of reader who would know. Yes, dear reader, you are correct. My dear reader, perhaps your imagination takes you even further. Perhaps on the count of 3, you would shout out something exciting that this letter writer just experienced before she sat down to write this letter. 1, 2, 3!
An affair.
Betrayal.
You people in the future are sick! And we like it that way. Yes, she just witnessed an affair. My dear reader, sit back now and prepare yourself for a series of scandalous letters and dangerous liaisons.
Claire Mouton to Marie Cochon. My dearest friend Marie, I can imagine you sitting in your room reading this letter with your red hair. Well, I must get into it. I witnessed something rather shocking just now. Hence why I have come to this room to write the letter to you. There I was. It was a warm day, hot, and I was lolling by the gardens. I witnessed there my brother and the girl who lives across the pond. Not England, of course. Those scoundrels. No, across the literal pond. My neighbor.
They mustn't be seen. It won't be good for you or me.
They said they mustn't be seen, but there I saw them.
If anyone were to find out, it would be the ruin of my entire family name.
And mine as well.
Celeste, I do love thee.
And I love you, Claude.
But you are recently wed.
I know. What shall I do?
Keep your lips tight and your heart tighter.
My dear Claire, I must tell you, I attended this wedding, and it was extravagant. To say that her family put a lot of money into this would be an understatement. A fortune.
If anyone were to find out now, Claude, it will be the ruin of my family.
Yes, yes.
I was mere inches from them, and they still could not see me because I hid myself delicately behind a tree.
This is unexpected, but I will say I've never felt happier in my entire life.
And I love you so much.
Then perhaps we shall...
Run away.
Run away?
Yes.
I was astounded. Run away? What was my brother thinking?
Celeste! Oh, there you are, my love.
Hello, darling.
And there came her husband.
I just returned from an afternoon ride and was told I might find you here in the garden. Splendid day.
Yes.
Ah, bonjour. A pleasure to see you.
Yes,
Admiring the begonias.
yes, of course, and Jean-Paul.
We just...
With a pleasure, Mr.
Claude.
Yes, Claude.
Yes, familiar. I recognize you from the wedding.
Yes,
Ah, what
we
a
just
glorious...
ran into each other by accident.
Yes, it was by mere coincidence that I smelled the wonderful jasmine flowers here that I was attracted to. Oh, there's a sound coming from this bush.
And there I was found, Marie. Oh,
Pardon the intrusion, madame.
Oh, Mademoiselle Claire.
Mademoiselle.
brother?
You were standing there in secret?
Yes. My brother took me to the side.
Do not say anything. You witnessed it all.
I witnessed everything.
Then you know how important it is that this will never come out.
Of course I know. I would never divulge this secret. Because it would put me in jeopardy too.
Yes, you must understand it was not something that I planned to happen. It just occurred.
I will keep your secret, brother.
Darling, you're not looking very well. Perhaps you should go back to the room, and I shall meet you there in half an hour after I compose myself.
Well, my dear, I had hoped you might join me in our pink canoe upon the pond. But perhaps you're right. Why, if you say that I am looking a bit peaked, well,
Yes.
perhaps this warm spring air doesn't agree with me.
No, it doesn't, and if I were to join you, I fear it would make you ill.
Well then, I shall take my leave. Good day to you.
And I shall take my leave as well.
Monsieur, your pink horse has been stabled and fed, and your pink sheets are ready for you to encounter them.
And thus Jean-Paul left. And thus my brother parted as well, and left me alone with Celeste. And before I bid her adieu, I gave her a final piece of advice. You best keep secret and stay cautious. We wouldn't want to ruin my birthday party coming up. It's very important.
I'm so sorry.
And for your own sake, be discreet. Now off! My dear Marie, as embarrassed as I was to be discovered behind that tree, I would be even more embarrassed if my brother were found out to be a cad. My friend, I look forward to seeing you soon. Love, Claire.
Mademoiselle Marie to Monsieur Pierre. Oh, Papa, I write to you from the home of my best friend Claire's house. For you see, I knew that her family was in trouble, and I came right away to be here for her. I made it just in time for her birthday party. Oh, what a splendid event it was. Everyone was there, dancing away the minuet. It was quite a beautiful sight to behold.
Brother, I suppose you wish to dance with your sweetheart tonight? But I strongly advise against it.
I could see that my friend and her brother were having quite the squabble on the dance floor, so I stepped in. How about you go get a drink, my friend? So I hear that you've been up to no good.
Word gets around. Who told you?
I have my ways of knowing things.
And do you have ways of keeping your mouth shut?
But of course, for a price.
I see. Rumors about you were then true.
All good things, I hear.
Name your price.
1,000 livres.
What?
You laugh. Hello, everyone. Would you like a...
Yes, let's make a toast.
Oh, dear.
To my most beautiful sister Claire. My sister, my young sister.
Wealthy,
Well, yes,
beautiful,
of course, talented, and most desired.
think
Very good. A toast to a wonderful life ahead.
Yeah.
And may good fortune and a wonderful marriage bestow itself upon you. Hear, hear!
Here.
Cheers.
Think about what I have offered you. My silence in return for your payment. And now I must go greet the birthday girl. Oh, my dear friend. Hello. What a beautiful party it is. Now that you are of marrying age, have you given it a thought about what suitor you would like?
I've been eyeing a certain young gentleman over there. I hear he's wealthy.
Well, so are you.
Thank you.
Keep all the money together.
Yes.
That must be nice.
Well, hello there, young gentleman. I understand you're wealthy.
Indeed, sir, quite so.
You know, it is many a young gentleman with a fortune such as yours who have made a young lady terribly happy. Is that in the cards for you, sir?
I do wish so. One day, I will find my love, perchance, at this very birthday party, no less.
Well, we mustn't waste a moment. Let me introduce you.
Okay.
Hello, good sir. May I introduce my wonderful friend, Claire? It's my birthday.
Yes, and a most happy birthday to you.
He seemed a little annoyed at her nervous
Sorry.
laugh.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I seem to have been blushed.
Oh, wait, you're bleeding. Oh.
Thank you. Perhaps there's a place with more privacy where I can freshen up.
My bedroom.
Oh,
Well, Papa, I'm not going to tell you the rest of that story. But you see, the night took an unexpected turn.
Mademoiselle, I must insist that you retire with me home in our coach post-haste. We have had quite enough fun at this social event, and I'll take no more of you in ignoring me and embarrassing me in public.
Oh, I'm so
After all, am I not your husband?
Yes, you are. For now.
They thought they were being discreet, but the entire party could hear them.
Madame, we have been married now for a full fortnight and have yet to be alone together in a marital sense.
Again, everyone could hear them.
I did tell you it was my monthly.
Well, though I am not fully accustomed to the ways of women, this monthly is starting to turn into a yearly.
Well, that is exactly what happens.
Oh, well, then if you shan't leave with me, well, then I shall be off on my own.
And off
Oh,
he
adieu.
Oh, Papa, it was quite a riveting party. I wish you had been there. I'm writing to let you know that I plan to stay with my good friend Claire for a time, so that I might be there to assist her in all of her wealth, and to potentially get some more useful leveraging information. Your dearest daughter, Marie.
Pierre Couchon, to my dear friend, Jean-Paul. Jean-Paul, it saddens me to hear of the turmoil in your house. You know, I have many doctor friends who might be able to give you more clear advice on how to handle your wife's illnesses. Although I admit, I think the illness might be indeed between her ears and not between her legs. You see, I had taken a relaxing evening stroll along the cafe. I had made an acquaintance with a cobbler, you see, and the cobbler was having coffee time.
Monsieur,
Monsieur,
your shoes. They are ready.
ah, they are perfect.
Yes, of course.
these will go splendidly with my dress and my costume that I have for the ball later. You are a true genius, Henri.
Thank you, sir.
Please, don't call me sir.
Monsieur.
Perfect. And just then, Jean-Paul, but who should walk into the shop? You guessed it. It was your wife. I think that... Oh, madame,
Yes.
looking radiant, sir. Please, do say hello to your husband for me.
I shall.
Jean-Paul.
I love him, as you know.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Are those the shoes that he's making for you?
Yes.
Aren't those a
Aren't
bit
they
forward
lovely?
for a woman who's now married?
Well, they make me feel like a young girl. And I've only been married for a fortnight, and I thought perhaps Jean-Paul might like to see me in these.
Ah, that's excellent. You know, I know that Jean-Paul is particularly fond of lavender biscuits.
Lavender biscuits.
Yes, they say lavender is an aphrodisiac.
Oh, I shall try to remember that.
Here. I keep a tin of lavender biscuits in my pocket at all times.
Aren't you?
For no reason at all.
You are so kind. Thank you.
I must admit to you, Jean-Paul, that you did not seem sincerely enthralled upon me providing you those gifts we had agreed upon. She seemed a bit taken aback. And now, I admit that your previous musings to me did strike a chord. My dear, you don't seem particularly enthralled with these gifts that I've given you.
Well, it's not that I don't appreciate receiving gifts. It's just, I feel that perhaps I just haven't realized my potential yet, and I'd rather not use any accessories or extras.
My dear.
Yes.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Schnookums.
Hello, my dear.
Did you give her the gifts?
Of course.
Yes.
Do you love the gifts?
Yes, I do.
And-
Very much.
My wife, of course, can handle
Sure
the
you will.
eau de toilette. Perhaps liven up the
Thank you.
boudoir atmosphere.
Thank you. That's most kind of you.
You do know how to use these, right?
The biscuits, lavender biscuits, yes, I believe you ingest them.
45 minutes before.
Playtime.
It just will make for an adventurous evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And, yes, I shall get on this right away.
But you say that those who adventure together, stay together,
Stay together.
the strongest marriages are made with lavender biscuits.
Thank you so much. Well, I shall bid you adieu then, and I shall get right on this right away.
There shall be one liver. I'll put it on your tab.
That,
Thank you, monsieur.
of course, only. And there you have it, Jean-Paul. Your wife looked most aghast when I made any mention of you sharing the marital bed with her. My wife, ever the temptress, known in all the matronly circles as an advisor to those ladies who need help, was completely rebuffed. Oh. I wish you good luck, sir. Call for the doctor post-haste, or I fear that come the next moon, you shall be a lonely bachelor yet again. Your friend, Pierre Couchon.
Jean-Paul, to his beloved wife, Celeste. My dearest Celeste, it pains me gravely to write you today, for I have become aware through friendly back channels that you have recently been in receipt of lavender biscuits. I have past few nights, awaited patiently for your presentation of said biscuits in the accustomed 45-minute pre-time to adventures. Yet no biscuits have come. I write you now from my hunting lodge, where I am spending a few days with my male companions, one of whom I think you know, Claude. We were out, all of us together, on a fox hunt, this very morning, when I overheard something I believe I was not supposed to. Excellent shot there, Claude. You truly are a fine marksman.
You should have let it go out of the cage first, sir. You must strike while the iron is hot.
Yes. It's funny because, well, yesterday evening we had all discussed which of these foxes we would be hunting, and well, I believe I had selected the one with the pointy ears, yet you have hunted it and, well,
Really?
conquered it, as it were.
I must have made a mistake. I thought that this was mine.
Well, surely a man doesn't look at another man's fox and think it's his. We all have more substantial intellect than to assume that man's fox is his.
But the fox was making strong eye contact towards me.
We have plenty of foxes. Surely you don't need to argue.
Well, absolutely. There are certainly plenty of foxes in the forest, aren't there?
Yes, a man of your stature, with your wealth and well-to-do, can find many foxes.
Well, one could. However, once one has bagged one's own fox, one must take that home and put it above his mantelpiece and only ever look at that fox. Anyway, if you'll join me, my good friend, I think we shall hunt on this side. I recommend that you two gentlemen hunt around that hedge and we shall meet in the middle.
Very well.
I only brought one fox.
Let's see if we can stand up another.
Claude.
But you see, my dear Celeste, I, after waiting a short few moments, snuck out behind them and was able to overhear behind a tree while they made small talk.
I have the sneaking suspicion that he was not simply referring to foxes.
I too have that suspicion.
It seems he must know of the illicit affair you have.
No one must be made aware of this. And you know.
Yes, well, I've been spending some time with your sister.
Upon hearing these words, my blood began to boil. I raised my musket and pointed it at Claude. But at the last minute, cooler heads prevailed and I fired a shot, a warning shot as it were, just above his right shoulder. Oh, my good man, forgive me. I thought you were a fox. Close call.
Did anyone see that vixen?
False alarm, false alarm.
Close call indeed.
Oh,
That tree's branch is broken.
Well, it seems that we have come to a point there, Jean-Paul.
Yes, indeed. For, my dear, the sun had begun to raise high in the sky and temperatures were rising all around.
I know how to read between the lines.
Well then, out with it.
You say first. What is it that you think has happened?
I think you're hunting around with my wife. And I give you this warning, for I have many powerful friends. And Celeste and I are destined to be together. Her parents have given me the blessing to marry into their great wealth. I'm warning you.
I love her! And she returns the same emotion of love.
Mon Dieu, Celeste, his words cut me to the quick. I almost melted right then and there, but I steeled myself.
I know how this does sound. And I promise you, Jean-Paul, that this was not something that I had intended to occur, but it has.
Claude, we are men of aristocracy.
Yes.
Love has nothing to do with it. Celeste and I are bound together for all eternity.
Are you?
And you shall find a new grounds on which to hunt, or I shall have your head above my mantelpiece. And with that, Celeste, we parted ways. But I write you now with gravest cautions, for you now know that I know what you know. Steal your emotions. Find happiness within our meritable relations, or there shall be consequences for your dear friend, Claude. Sincerely, your husband, Jean-Paul.
From Celeste to Claude. My dearest love, I write to you in secret, sitting in the rose garden, where your sister had gotten married. The wedding of the century, she called it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to compose myself. I hope you can look back on the night where we had the lavender biscuits that I had supposedly planned to take for my husband, but that 45 minutes with you, I shall never forget. The way you touched me, the way you held me. Oh, I don't think I can breathe. It was lovely. The way that you took my dress and undid the bodice. Oh, I'm sorry, I think there may be somebody listening. There's always people listening around here. But forget all about that right now. I have to tell you, I saw your sister with Marie in the garden. Marie and Claire were talking. They didn't know I was there, but I heard them.
Look unhappy.
My wedding is supposed to be the wedding of the century.
It will be.
How could it be when I can no longer count on the attendance of His Greatness, Jean-Paul, and his family? They were to bestow upon me a boat!
And she was crying and hysterical, and that last sentence was very hard for me to understand.
They were going to bestow upon me a boat as a wedding gift! And now they won't because he refuses to come because he doesn't support my family because my brother!
I wanted to slap her, but I didn't want her to know I was there. But, oh, Claude.
But did you invite the cobbler to make you shoes?
Yes,
Well, then you might not have a boat, but you have shoes.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
But when you marry, you will have so much wealth in your family, you'll be able to buy as many boats as you like.
Yes, I suppose that's true. Oh, you're here. Oh, please do not leave. I can make amends.
And then my husband walked in on them.
Amends, you say? To what do you refer, mademoiselle?
I can offer you something. If you come to my wedding.
Yes. I have a very large boat in my regalia. It might have your name upon it. Go on.
My blood was running cold when I heard him say that.
If you come to my wedding, I will reveal to my parents my brother's indiscretions and have him sent away to Spain.
Claire, you wouldn't.
I would.
I don't believe that she was lying, Claude. We need to leave as soon as possible.
Very well, then, if you are able to arrange it prior to the wedding, set your sails for adventure.
Oh, so is there a large galley in the boat? Is there a kitchen?
The largest.
Is there a chamber pot?
There's an entire poop deck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can count on your attendance then?
Mademoiselle, they say blood is thicker than water, but when that water is under a very, very, very big boat, we might just find an exception. I look forward to attending your wedding. Adieu.
A wedding of the century it will be!
It's going to be amazing, but you just offered up your brother's livelihood, his life here, for a boat.
And with that, Claude, they left, and I am left here in distress. My husband does not love me. All he wants is our fortune and our reputation. But I don't want to give it to him anymore. I love you. And I want to find a way to get out of this marriage. Please, find a way. I'll wait for your letters. Your darling, Celeste.
Claude to his sister, Claire. My dearest sister, I first must apologize for my recent behavior. I know it has brought great shame to not only myself, but you and the entire family. I know the conversation that you have had with Jean-Paul, but I tell you now, sister, that I will no longer be in hiding. For I have met Jean-Paul at the field of honor. You have come here, good sir.
Yes, I received your invitation.
Yes, and I brought you here to tell you now, to ask you for a duel. A duel for my family name, my honor, and for love. Do you accept this or not? I shall not run away. I shall not be cast away, and I shall stay firmly here.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Then you accept my challenge.
Very well.
Then upon the first day of the next month, we shall meet here at midday.
The swords are already in order.
Ah, very well. If you so wish to settle this matter now, then who am I to deny it?
Monsieur Mouton has chosen the grounds. Jean-Paul, you have chosen the weapons. I remind you both that you are gentlemen.
Yes, I'm sure you follow the Marquis of Queensberry rules.
Of course.
This duel is to be toward first blood. Agreed?
Agreed.
Oui, oui.
It's a sword fight.
Yes.
We'll do 5 things.
Wait for him to count us off.
I apologize. This is my first one.
Un, deux, trois, quoi? Just turn around.
Oh. Ah. Your aim is not always so true then.
Do not be so quick to find confidence, my good son.
Okay, you both drew blood to second blood then.
I believe the rules are 2 out of 3, sir.
2 out of 3. That's a tie.
Remember, you have taken your biscuits. Remember the biscuits. Feel them inside yourself. And go at him.
I see your epi is at full mast.
It sure is. That's
Another dual strike. The next blood wins.
On guard. Tis no matter. You're bound for Spain in the morning.
impossible.
I have foreseen to it. Thank you, my good man. You have 2 choices. You may abscond yourself to Spain upon first morning's light, or you shall find the guillotine waiting for you at noon.
Guillotine?
That's right.
Claire, upon hearing these words, I knew right then and there, no matter what I had done, what I would do, any course of action I would take would be meaningless, for his stance in this community, his power in government was beyond anything that I could muster. Therefore I agreed. Very well. It seems as though even if I shoot the fox in the cage, I still cannot acquire my reward. And with those words...
Your reward is not my wife.
With those words I left, his words ringing in my ear, ringing in my soul. And I knew that I brought this shame upon myself. I am bound for Spain. You will never hear from me again. Sincerely, your brother.
And so, dear reader, will true love find its way to Spain, or will the manacles of society keep it locked in place? End of part 1.